All right, so welcome back to another stream of Crocotile 3D. And this time I'm gonna create a sports car type of model. So I'm just getting stuff ready, letting people know that I'm streaming, that sort of thing. Okay, so let's get started. Add another blank tile set, and I'll start off maybe with that color, just so we have some space to work with. I think I'll probably start creating a wheel for the car. First, I want to kind of decide where I'm going to put some of the details. Probably better if I work smaller in this case. I'm thinking this tile here is like the hubcap of it. So I don't really have anything planned too much as far as like how it's going to be like structured or designed or whatever. I'm just going to kind of feel it out as I go and figure out how things should be, I guess. I'll let my creativity kind of lead the way. That looks okay, I guess. Like some rounded hubcap, the wheel, and I want to create like the tire, like the rubber part. So maybe I'll use like this tile next to it, and I'll just fill that in, and maybe I'll choose lighter color just to kind of orientate myself with the tile. So I know like which side is which, and yeah, I don't know, do something like that. I don't really know how the details should look at the moment because I'm just starting and planning things out. But probably use this tile here to kind of start building the top of it, or the curvature of the tile, I guess. So maybe I'll use an 8x8 tile size. I don't know, that might be good. And I'll just kind of place it into the scene like that. And maybe I'll select those and adjust my grid rounding value, maybe 4. That way it moves a little bit more. So maybe, I'm just kind of experimenting at the moment, just kind of looking at stuff. Place it like that, kind of look around, kind of figure out how I'm gonna shape this. Yeah, because yeah, started. So I'll split it there. Why not? And then I have those vertices now to work with, so I kind of like move that up. Kind of moves up too far, so I'll bring my grid rounding value down to 2 maybe, and then I'll do that. Although, let me think about this. I could move my crosshair like right here. I have to kind of think where the center of the tile is. I guess the tire could be like more flat and not so thick. So I could do that. And maybe I can move that down a little bit more. Seems like a good, maybe right there, that might be better. And then I could kind of think about the center of the towel. Maybe it goes around, I don't know, we could try maybe there, I guess. But I could grab these vertices, move them over there just momentarily, move my crosshair back there, and then I could go into the transform tab and go to the rotate along the Z axis, and maybe rotate there. So let's see, how do I calculate that? 22.5? Yeah. So if I apply that, it goes the other way, so I need to go negative. Okay, so that gives it a little bit of a rotation from this center point. And maybe I should, just so that I don't lose where my center is, I could maybe move it all down to the origin point so that I know that's the center. So, yeah. So I have that, and then I could so I could grab these other vertices, move them over, and shift that like that. The vertices, are they still selected? Yeah, they are. Okay. And then I could just rotate it the other way. Still kind of a thick tire though. If you like imagine it going around, I guess that's all right. Looks about right, I guess. Let's look at the tiles that I have. So I have these tiles are right there, and then those over there. So I want to move this over here, just out of the way, and then I will select all of this. I just want to create a bit more tile art, I guess. I want to select that and paste it over here. I don't know why I have to copy it. I'm gonna just, I don't know. Anyways, and I want some variability, or is that the right word? Variation to how it looks, so that the shading kind of flows around it. I'm trying to think and talk at the same time, so maybe some tire tread. I'm just kind of doing some vague details just to give myself something to work with. So, okay, let's see here. So that's kind of, that's kind of weird. I could fix this later. I was thinking like that's like the highlight of the corner. I'll have to move it down over there, but I'll do that later. So I could just copy it. I mean, select everything, and then I could copy paste, go back into transforms, and just kind of like rotate it like that. So now we got more of a curve. But I want to select those and go into my UVs and select all these, and then I can kind of slide it over there. So now it's using a different portion of the texture. And do the same. I already copied and pasted it, so it's already copied. I could just paste it again, I think. And put a negative, apply it, that. And then for these, I could slide these over to this side, that. So now we have this part of the tire. And it's looking round. And now I'm just thinking if I should create some more, might as well just create some more texture area stuff. More tiles, sort of thing. I'll just do that, and I'll just I guess I'll do that. And then just kind of put a few details here just to kind of, you know, have some idea as to how things are orientated. And maybe over on this side it can get a little darker, so maybe I can use a darker value and fill that in right there. That. Now I have those tiles, and I could just basically do the same thing. I guess I could just select all of this, right? And then I can just copy that, paste it, transform, rotate it around like that. Why not? And then I can just go into the UVs, select all this, and where was it? Right there, I think. Yeah. Now we need another tile for the bottom over there. Okay, and what about the other side though? You know, I could have probably just reused the same tile. I'm kind of getting a little bit detailed here just for the tire. But I guess that's all right. It gives you an idea as to like how to go about doing stuff. So I guess it'll be a really detailed tire, I suppose. I guess I'll just select all that and maybe select that. Do that, and yeah. So now need about, I could probably just there's another thing you could do. You could just copy that, paste it, mirror it, and then reverse it, faces like that. That's another way to do it. Well, it's kind of weird shape, isn't it? So you got like this circular tire thing going on, and now I want to do like inside of it, I guess. Probably could have done that first or before rotating everything. That's all right. So I'm gonna select that and just add a bit of detail. It's gonna be like the rim, I guess. I don't know. Maybe something like that, just to give me some reference or something to work with. You know, I could just delete that. And I can copy that, paste, and maybe flip it down. Oops, I want to do that. Flip it down. No, not like that. Flip it down, reverse it. Just drag those over and snap it. And for those, I can just select the UVs and kind of flip them and then slide them down like that. I need to I need to like align them all to the same Y position. So right now they're a little off from each other. So I can go into the transforms, get the position of the crosshair right there. That's where it's located. Maybe I could like round it to the grid at the moment. So vertices align to grid. So that's on the grid now. I can get that position. Maybe I can just align these as well to the grid. Let's try that. Yeah, I guess that works. Whoops. Now, let's see. I could select this, move it over there, and move my crosshair back to the center point. And then I can just apply transform like that. And then I can do the same thing for this, but in the opposite direction. That. So now we have like this inner portion. I guess I could move these inwards. That looks good. And maybe I won't bother creating other pieces on the tile set. I'll just paste them and do that. Copy, paste, apply that, copy, paste, that. Okay, so we have like this inner rim to the wheel. It's looking pretty good. And I'll just finish this part by doing something like this. Where's my crosshair? There it is. Okay, just move it up to the center. That's the center. Yeah. Let me just resize this by 0.9 maybe. I don't know. I should implement a way to adjust things relative to the pixel size. That would be good. That looks pretty good right there, I suppose. Like a wheel to me. I think the tire's a little bit thick, but it's all right. I mean, we could change it, could adjust it. I just have to like select all the vertices like this. And then I can just go over into transforms, adjust it on the X and Y, but not the Z. I'll leave the Z as 1. And then I could just apply that like that. And that kind of pulls it in a bit. So like if it's a sports car type of thing, what do you think? Like that or like that? I don't know. Maybe it looks a bit tapered too much, I think. Whoa, what happened? Undo that. Why? Yeah, that looks alright, I suppose. I can always change it back later if I want. Or I could like move these like that and then like duplicate the other side. Basically, I could select all that and then copy paste, mirror, reverse that. Now it's like more even. That's kind of cool. I suppose I'll do that. I'll just leave it like that for now. Start working on the other part of the car, other pieces and parts, whatever. But I guess first I'll select all that, select everything, and then I'll go to faces and create object. Now it's its own object. I should probably change the origin point because it puts the origin point wherever the crosshair is. Right now the crosshair is up there, and I don't want it up there. I don't want the origin point up there. I want the origin point of the wheel in the center of the tire. So set the position to, whoa, what did I do? Oh, I set the camera. I see. I'll set the position of the crosshair there to the center. And then I'll edit the object, and then I'll go into the scene tab. And I will go to the origin point down here. And then I'll move the point to the origin, or to the crosshair. So that's, now the origin point's right there. You could see it by the triangular position. Okay, so I'll put it there for now. And also I'll rename this to wheel. Okay. Now let's work on other parts of the car. So right now it looks like we have 5 viewers. If you have any questions, just let me know. This is Crocotile 3D that I'm using. It's like a tile-based 3D editor where you can select tiles and then draw them to the scene like this. And draw them at different angles and stuff like that, and erase the tiles, and then you can like edit the tiles and that sort of thing. And it has like a paint editor. You can paint stuff, paint the texture and that sort of thing. Okay, so I'm trying to think like how I want to create the car, like the body of it. I'm thinking like some sort of sports car, like a Lamborghini or something like that. And oops, I have some reference images in another window. I'm just using one monitor, so everything's kind of squished together on the screen. That's all right. Hey, neutral wave, how's it going? Enjoying the pixely goodness? Yeah. Pixel aesthetic. It's good. It's a good style. Right now I'm just looking at some cars, some photos of some cars, just to get like some inspiration or ideas as to how to shape things. It's not going to be like completely accurate or anything like that, because I'm just kind of winging it as I go, kind of figuring stuff out, because I haven't really planned too much. Anyways, I guess I'll select an area here to paint on, and I guess I'll start with what did I start with? I guess I'll just build off of this tire, since the tire kind of acts like a unit of a measure in my mind for like proportions and that sort of thing, because you want the body to kind of have some relativity to the wheels. You don't want the wheels looking too large or anything like that. You gotta have the right balance between everything. So I guess I'll just build off the wheel by like building around it with the what do you call it? There's a name for the thing, for the part that goes around the wheel. Is it the fender, or the fender's in the back? I don't know. I'm not much of a car person. I don't know too much about all the terminologies. Anyways, I think I'm talking too much. So I'll just select this part, I guess. And I'll just use that color. Why not? And let's see here. I'll just kind of draw some details roughly to like give myself some way of orientating the tiles. So let's see here. I'm probably not gonna plan this too well now that I'm thinking about it. Probably gonna end up making a lot of mistakes and things like that because I'm not really putting too much thought into it. I don't like this color. I'm gonna change it. And this color is bothering me as well for some reason. It's too, doesn't look right. Actually, maybe I'll make a blue car. Maybe something like that. Okay, so I'll start with that. I'll start with those. So maybe I can select that and place that there. Move it over there. That. And then I can kind of split this like that. Take those. Something like that. I have no idea how this is going to end up. I should probably think about making it more simplified compared to the amount of tiles I used on the wheel. Otherwise, it's going to take a long time. Could also just copy that over, do something like that, and then drag this over there, snap it there, move it around like that. And I can just kind of rotate the camera, kind of look at stuff from different angles, try and get an idea as to like the silhouette and the shape of it and that sort of thing. You know, it doesn't have to be very smooth since we're using low polygons, a low amount of polygons. It can be a little chunky and that sort of thing. So I can just kind of mess around a bit. Just experiment. I could always erase stuff and reposition things based on whatever, I guess. Like for instance, this I could probably just select that vertex, move it up, drag it over there, whatever. And yeah, so that's kind of like the front of the car, obviously, unless you thought it was the back of the car. either the back or the front, based on the direction of the wheel. Okay, so we have that going on. Maybe I need some type of what do you call it? I don't know. I'm looking at the reference images, and some of the cars have like a lip at the bottom and the front. I'm sure there's probably some technical term for it. But I could like copy this tile over here, kind of move this around, maybe like that, and like that. Hi, Skull Tip. Welcome to the stream. We're building a car of some sort. Just using our imagination, trying to figure out how to shape it. And I could kind of, after I shape this all, I could just go into the UVs right here and just kind of move them around and adjust things and shape them in the way that I want to shape them. So I'm not too concerned about that at the moment. I just kind of want to get like a good shape to things. I mean, I could draw some details on things. I guess it might help to create like the hood of it. Yeah. Just like click and drag these vertices and snap them onto other ones. I can move those down. That. It's looking pretty good, I suppose. Yeah, I'll just put it there, I suppose. Trying to figure out the shape of this corner. Might be better if it's more streamlined. The top of the car, maybe. I could also turn on the wireframe like this. That might help me see how things are shaped a little bit better. guess that's all right. We could use like the texture work to kind of fill in the details, make things look more as you would expect them to look. Okay, so we have that. Another thing I could do is I can select all of that and I could put move the crosshair where I envision the center of it, center of the car. Maybe somewhere over there. Maybe right there. I could always change it, but then I could right click and go faces, create object. All that body, and then I'll double click that. I'll go to mirroring and I'll turn that on, and then I'll change this to the z-axis. Now it's mirrored. And I'm trying to see if that's too wide. Kind of looks a bit wide to me, so I think I could just the origin point, edit that. Let's try doing that. Okay, so move it over like that. You kind of get a better idea as to the width of the car. I guess that looks all right. And maybe slightly wider than that. I think that looks about right to me. And then probably just, you know, keep things simple. Do that, you know. Although it doesn't have much shape to it. It's kind of just looks a bit generic to me. It'd be better if it had a bit more like curves to it, I guess. Try moving these over there. Could have just split them, I suppose. It's all right. Actually, move them back, and then I'll select all of those. I'll go into edit mode, and then I'll just kind of split them, I suppose. Why not? It's a bit simpler. And then trying to think how I want to shape it. Something like that. And maybe I could kind of curve these out a bit. Maybe put that in a bit. I don't know, that gives it a little bit of character, I suppose, so it isn't so generic. And I can play with it a bit, see how different things look, kind of get creative with it. Adjust some of the triangulation. It looks alright, I suppose. And you could always adjust things later if you want. Maybe I could work on like the windshield portion. Or I could actually do some texture work. We could do that to change things up a bit, so that the video doesn't get too, what's a word? Monotonous. So first I want to just kind of fill in this area. And I'm going to, after that, I'm going to start working on the UVs, kind of shaping things. So I'll select all that, and then I'll go into the UVs. And now we have to kind of like sort all these out, basically. So I'll move that over there, and that's the front of it. So I have to figure out how I want to position all of these things. Okay, so that part is there. I'll just do that. Just kind of getting them all relative to each other. I'm moving them over to the side where there's detail, like 2 colors, so I could see like what changes in the 3D view. See, like this right here, it's on 1 color, and I'm just moving it so the color changes, and I'm looking in the 3D scene while I do that. So I'll drop it here, and okay, I see this changes over there, so I know that this UV stuff correlates with that tile. And I know this tile is positioned between those other tiles, so now I just kind of move it over here. And then I drag another one. That one changed over there, so I guess this goes right here. One goes over there somewhere, right there. We'll have to move all these to the side. This one is back here. This one kind of goes down there. This one kind of goes down there, but it's rotated. So I need to, which way do I rotate it? That way. I'll just put it there for now. This one is right there, I suppose. One. One goes right there. One's this. One goes up in that area. That one I just moved. This one goes over there. So now they're all kind of positioned relative to each other, and I have to kind of connect them all together. First, I'm just kind of putting vertices on top of other vertices, kind of connecting things together. Something doesn't look right here. What's going on there? So one needs to be rotated like that. Okay, so now that's the front, and then it kind of curves right here, kind of changes direction on this corner part. Trying to figure out, I guess this goes like, trying to figure. Okay. Kind of like triangular in that way. Okay. It's like that. Move this down. Okay, so this part kind of goes up there. This part goes there. And then it comes down like that. Maybe like that. And then we have this part kind of meets there. This goes up there. Gonna move those there. And then this one, we can move those like that. So now they're all connected pretty much how they're supposed to connect. And now I could just kind of resize them to kind of fit this area a little bit better. So I could kind of like stretch things out in different ways just to get stuff positioned. So I just selected something like that. Maybe I'll turn this on so that I can move multiple vertices that are overlapping. And I'm just looking at like the shape of these tiles and things so that I could judge their different sizes. Like obviously these UVs in this horizontal line are kind of close together vertically. They're vertically too close along this horizontal space. So I can kind of do that. And you know, these tiles along the hood are wider, that sort of thing. I could probably do that, make it like take up less of it, because it doesn't need to be that long. This is like the roof over here, and this is like the front. And bottom parts shorter. Okay, so now with that, I guess they're roughly the size that they need to be. Maybe I'll pull those down a little bit like that. And what's this? This is like the above the wheel, isn't it? Doesn't need to be that long. Something like that. That might look all right. So we have that, and now with that, I could go back into the paint mode if I select this stuff. Like start drawing on it. Take the grid off, and I could also like toggle on the UVs, so I can see where the UVs are and that sort of thing. And then I could take my stylus and start like drawing. Going on. Okay, add something selected, so I had to deselect. So like I could start just like drawing on it, basically whatever details that I want to put on. And yeah, I could see those details being drawn. And I can just kind of mark things generally, and you know, I could always change stuff later if I don't like the way things look. Maybe this is like the headlight, something like that. And I could always change like the shape of the geometry later. Things don't look exactly how I want them to. I don't know. Just experiment, see how things look, that sort of stuff. Kind of cool, I guess. So now what? think this, I don't know. Trying to imagine the rest of the car. I can just kind of copy those. Oh wait, I don't want to put this there. What's going on there? Okay, so now we have that. Obviously, I need to move these others. Do something like that, I suppose. It looks pretty good. Maybe I could change that triangulation that it bends like that. So now we got like this area for the hood, or not the hood, the windshield to rise up that direction. And maybe pull that up a bit like that. Maybe like that. Okay, and then I can just select these again. Why not? And I'll just shift them over. Okay. It's looking pretty cool. Actually, maybe I'll move that. I'll put it there, I guess. This part's bothering me right here. trying to figure out how I want to shape it. Could maybe move those up. Just gotta try different things, you know, see what looks good. This will be like the door, top of the door. Could just make this part kind of more streamlined back and then build something off the bottom there. That's what I think I'll do. Okay, and then just copy those, paste them like that. That's looking pretty cool. Okay. Then I'll just take these. Maybe I'll push that in a bit. That. Maybe pull these out slightly. Change the way that triangulates. Kind of like the way that looks. I think that looks pretty good. Maybe the windshield could get kind of narrower, like that. We can always like adjust things later to kind of tweak things and that sort of thing based on how we want to do it. Trying to figure out like the angle that I want. So it looks a bit too curved. That's all right. No, I'll change it. Trying to figure out like how it's gonna flow into the rest of the car. A bit shallow looking, but I'm looking at some reference images, and some of them, the windshield's rather shallow. And kind of like it's more streamlined with the hood of it. I think maybe the corner here is a bit too round. Maybe, oops. Maybe these can kind of come out a bit, like that. Maybe those can, maybe this one, like that. All these subtle little changes can affect how everything looks from different angles. That looks a little more like it flows with the front of the car a little bit better, I think. Hey, AV Big Cat has a question about the UV resolution range. And is there a point the tile size gets too big to work well in Crocotile? Thinking about that. So the tile size that I'm using right now, well, I just have my UV tile size set to 8x8, and that allows me to select 8x8 pixels in the tile set. I can set this to 16 by 16, and it selects a larger portion, that sort of thing. And I can also select multiple tiles at a time and place them in the scene like that. But as for UVs, the UV coordinate system, it just works from a scale of 0 to 1. So Crocotile kind of just converts the pixels into like a fraction, like floating point number of between 0 and 1. So if I select this tile here, I'm trying to think how to explain this type of stuff. It shows that UVs right here within this entire tile set image. So this UV right here is probably something like 0.0 or 0.7 something, whatever, in the y-axis. And the y starts from like the bottom, goes to the top, and the x goes from the left and right, that sort of thing. And as far as like ideal UV resolution range, or the ideal tile set size, because you could add tile sets and you could create blank ones like that, and then you could choose how many tiles, or you could go pixels and set the pixel size of the image that you're creating, and you could create, much larger images like 1280 by 1280. You could create that. So now I have like this huge image. I just zoomed out 50%. It's like huge. So you could like fit a lot of tiles onto it. Or you could fit like a bunch of larger tiles. Like if you wanted to use a tile size of like 64 by 64, you can type that in. Now you can select larger tiles, and it'll draw it to the scene like that. But also, if you go into the settings and you go into the project, there's this base pixel unit size. Right now it's set to 16. And what that means is when I have what that means is I have it set to 16, so that means there'll be 16 pixels that fit within one 3D unit, which is like 1 meter unit. Yeah, 1 meter per 3D unit. So 16 pixels would fit within that range. So if I set this to 8x8 and I select a tile here, if I draw that there, that's like 1 meter across, and yeah, 1 3D unit basically. And so that's set like that. Let me save it. If I go into project settings and I change this, I could say that I could resize the scene to another pixel scale, I guess. So I can set it to 32 pixels per meter. What that would do, that would shrink everything. I think it would, shrink everything down because it's fitting more pixels inside of that 1 meter distance. So if I resize the scene, if I hit apply, everything got a bit smaller because it's shrinking it down into that 1 meter size. And undo that. Actually, I'll redo that, and I'll just set back this to 16. It resizes it back to so that 16 pixels fit within 1 meter. So I have an 8x8 pixel size tile. So if I place 4 of them like that, then that is 1 meter across. Before I said it was 1 meter, but it was actually half a meter because I have a 8x8 tile selected, and it's 16 pixels per meter at the moment. So if that's all confusing, yeah, whatever. Kind of forgot what I was talking about. So tile resolution, UV resolution, and that sort of thing. You can adjust that so that you could use whatever size you want, basically. And the grid size, you move your crosshair, you could set it how many pixels it moves as you move it. So if I set it to 4 like that, it moves 4 pixels at a time right now. And that also changes if you change the base pixel unit size. If you fit more pixels within 1 meter, then you can move the crosshair in smaller increments within that 1 meter if the base unit pixel size is higher. It gets all confusing, but anyways, I'll get back to working on this car. I haven't really figured out the best, resolution or whatever to use. I generally just like using 16 by 16 pixel tiles, whatever the default settings are. Usually pretty good for this type of work, I guess. One of the problems, though, when you are creating the texture, sometimes you might make the texture really huge, like what I'm doing right now. There's all this room for all these pixels, and probably don't need all that much room. I could probably just fit everything in like a space that big, and just kind of compact it together more, and restrict myself and keep things minimal and simplified and that sort of thing. But I have a tendency to kind of go overboard, as you can see. Right now, I'm kind of adding all these tiles and things because I'm so concerned about the shape of stuff. But for other people, they might just not care as much. They might just generalize things more. But anyways, that's something I need to work on, is trying to figure out how to simplify stuff and kind of work with the actual aesthetic of low poly stuff a little bit more. Yeah. Yeah, ideal range. It's a matter of taste. There's a lot of examples on the Crocotile website in the gallery of stuff that people have made. And some people have made things things that look more they look one way versus another way. There's certain styles to it, because like the more pixels you use, it kind of gives it a different kind of texture, different feeling. Whereas if you use like fewer pixels, they can feel a little more chunky and sharper, I guess. So they kind of like fill up more of the space. For instance, trying to think. I'm trying to think what the best way to triangulate the door and like the windows on the side, and how to work on their proportions and that sort of thing. It might help if I like place another wheel. Okay, so I click my wheel and then go into draw mode. Actually, I'll exit out of that. Maybe I'll put the wheel there. That kind of gives me a target to work with. Kind of helps me kind of measure stuff. Maybe I could just kind of put a bunch of these and not worry too much about where they're placed at the moment. And then I could just kind of move things around. Okay. So I need to figure out how to shape this, basically, without using too many polygons. I think that goes down too much. I want it to go streamline past the wheel, back of the wheel. Maybe I could bring these down. Sports cards, I think they have like more of the wheel exposed. It's looking kind of cool. So yeah, I'm getting more of the shape that I like, I think. As far as the UVs getting updated, AV Big Cat asks as I am duplicating these tiles. Basically, what's happening is we had originally these, I think those were the original UVs. If we go into UV mode, that's how it's mapped out for those UVs. For these selected tiles. And as I copy them, they just, yeah, they're just using the same UV coordinates of whatever tile's been copied. So all of these, if I select all of these, it doesn't change anything over here. They're just kind of overlapping onto other tiles. Probably these ones that on this, actually, let's see. If I deselect everything and I select these right here, it'll show those UVs right here. Select that and that. They're basically just these tiles or these UVs. They're all positioned in the same place. So what I would have to do is I can just select this one. Actually, let me think about this. I could just watch this. Do that. Because I know all of these tiles are the new tiles. And these are all the tiles here. I could just select these like that. And I could like position all of them down here. Like that. And then I can just select I can select everything. So now all the UVs are like that. Actually, no, let's deselect that. I'll just select those. So I have a reference of where they are. And then now I can just zoom in. Select this tile. Now this UV is right here. I can just click and drag it up here. Connect it with that other one wherever it needs to be. And then I could select the next one. Move it up over here. Kind of readjust any vertices, that sort of thing. Maybe it doesn't need to be that big. I could make it smaller, whatever. Select this one over here, drag this up there. Now it's connected together with the others. Select that one, drag that up there. Maybe adjust the vertices a little bit. And I want the vertices all connected. That's why I'm just kind of dragging them on top of each other, because it'll make it easier when I rearrange stuff later, or when I shape the UVs to reflect the tiles better. It'll make it easier when the vertices are overlapping each other in the correct version, in the correct position. Yeah, they're just kind of stacked. Because I just copied it. It's basically just like duplicating it. So I can do that, and then I can kind of just select all those and drag them over there maybe. I don't want them to use as much space. Maybe I could like drag that over there. So I have those, and then maybe I could just drag that over there, drag this one right there. And And with those, I could just go back into the paint mode. Oh, I need to like select the area. I could go back into the paint mode and then, you know, use some other color to fill that area in. That's kind of like the windshield area. Something like that. Oops. Oops. Something like that. And then I could just kind of continue that process. Basically, go into the UV editor, select a tile, put it over there. Actually, let me think about this. What's happening? We have this kind of changing direction, so we need like this space there, I guess. And this tile kind of goes up into that corner like that. Something like that. And like that. So as you can see, it kind of gets a little tricky sometimes, like figuring out how to organize the UVs and that sort of thing, because we have like this indentation that causes the tiles to kind of change direction. So like we had this top and this side, or yeah, this top, and now it's kind of splitting off. The top's going up over there and the side's kind of going down here, and now we have like this window on the side of the car kind of emerging between those UVs. So this is the window area there, and it connects this and like that. So I have to kind of think about how I want to construct the UVs. I could kind of just break it off and like make it more of its own piece, I guess. And then this tile goes on top of it. That you can just play with it, see what works, what doesn't work, adjust things, move things around, that sort of stuff. Extend it down like that. Things don't have to connect. You can have stuff positioned elsewhere. You can break things up, have different pieces in different parts of the tile set. Things don't always have to like be connected. Do it like that. And maybe these can kind of go out this way because it's like it has more space over here. Kind of juts out like that. and go into painting. Kind of fill that area in. Maybe I mean, you could kind of use like the geometry to kind of shape the edges of stuff if you want. Like I could move that up and make it more of the window. Actually, no, I'll move it a bit down like that. And I'll just kind of, I'll let the pixels create the illusion of the window. I think I'm going to separate that one. And I'll just pixel that like that. That way the geometry kind of helps shape the window there so that the pixels aren't all jagged. Hey, Core, how's it doing? How are you doing? We're creating a car, kind of like a sports car sort of thing. Gonna change the triangulation there so that the texture curves a little better. Can maybe move that up slightly so that the window is a little more straight. It's kind of pretty good, I think. Yeah, kind of retro looking. Just want to fill this area in just because it makes the geometry or the wireframe stand out a little bit better while I'm working with it. Okay, so just want to finish the rest of the body on this car. Okay. Pretty good. Okay, so I have to figure out how to connect this. All right. Seems all right. That's kind of weird. Think of this through to figure out. It's kind of bending there. So I would just drag it up there. Actually, curve it out a bit, and then do that. That looks a bit better. Okay. It's kind of cool. Could always just change the shape later, kind of adjust things. All right, so I got those connected together. Basically, looks pretty good. Take a look from different angles. Get an idea for the shape of it. Probably make this thing that I just made, make it a little wider. Looks a little narrow. But I won't worry about that right now. Just kind of work on finishing the back side of it, of the car. So maybe I could, let's see here. So I'll copy this up there. Just click and drag stuff. Guess that works. And then, as far as this goes, that might be a little tricky. That looks all right. I'm just checking like the shape of it. how I want stuff to bend. I think that looks good. Okay. Trying to imagine how this is all going to connect with the top of the car, back of it. Okay. Seems all right. Move this one down right there. We gotta fill in this part. Just move it like that, and then just fill in this little triangle area. Okay, so now we have the back basically shaped. Probably adjust things and that sort of thing. Maybe I want to widen it a little bit. Try doing that. Actually, I don't know if I like it like that. I don't know if I like it like that. Back looks kind of too close to the wheel. I don't know. I guess that's all right for demonstration purposes. Oops. Seems okay. All right, so what now? The UVs. All of these. These, that, that, that. That. I just have to move all the UVs into place, basically. There, then this one down there. There. Shouldn't take too long. And then once I have these in place, I could add a little bit more detail, pixel details, finishing touches and that sort of thing. I'm not gonna completely texture it because I only have so much time. Okay, so now maybe I'll do some pixel work right now because I only have so much time left. Didn't really shape the UVs. Probably should have done that. So that looks all right. part takes up too much space though. Window. Okay, I got an idea. I'm gonna use like the geometry to shape this window that slanted so that so it's straight. This line I think is too far forward. It's looking pretty good. Do that. Curve it up like that. Take the wireframe off so that I could see the pixels a little better. Can't really see the shape of it now though, because everything's all just the same color. Pretty good though. I think I'm gonna stop now. I think that was a good demonstration. I think you get the idea. It's pretty good. Maybe I could like move the tires out a bit. Slightly. Looks a bit better like that, I think. Maybe this side of the car needs to come out a bit. Kind of goes in a bit. Maybe it needs to like come out like that. Kind of triangulates weird right here. Could change that though. I don't know. It's up to you to decide how you want to shape it, that sort of thing. I think it looks all right. Yeah, thanks, Hezcore. Coming along nicely. I'm gonna stop now. That's pretty much it for this stream for today. Maybe next week I can work more on it or do something else. I guess we'll see. Thanks. So yeah, thanks for watching. This is Crocotile 3D. You could download it. crocotile3d.com. It's also available on Steam. And yeah. I'm going to upload this video to YouTube. I have other videos that you can watch. And yeah, if you want me to focus on anything specific, just leave a comment and that sort of thing. If you have any questions and stuff like that. So yeah, check out crocotile3d.com and look at the gallery at other people's work that they've made and that sort of stuff. We also have a Discord channel that you could join if you want to chat with people that are using Crocotile 3D and get help using it or ask questions, that sort of stuff. Yep. Yeah, we have a Discord channel. And yeah. Where's the link for that? I will. Where is the link for that? I'll probably leave a link to it in the comments or in the description. And I will paste it into the Twitch chat. So I think that is okay. I pasted it. Yeah, I could also put it on my Twitch profile or whatever. It might be on there already. I'm not sure. I probably put it on there, but so yeah, you can check that out and join and that sort of stuff. So yeah, that's all for now, and see you later.